We are grateful you are here as we do this historic signing of MoU between the Manhyia Palace Museum and the Creative Seychelles Agency, which is part of the National Institute of Culture, Heritage and Arts in Seychelles. I'm sure you are all aware of the historic ties between Kumasi, Asante, and Seychelles, and to a larger extent between Ghana and Seychelles. It started over a century ago when the king of Asante was exiled on that beautiful island. In 1997, we celebrated the centenary of that deportation to the Seychelles. And this year was the centenary of the return of Prempeh. It's been called in many ways a nation in exile. That is when Prempeh was on the island. And some also call it island of prisoners or prisoners in the bar. Today, we're going to extend that cooperation, the cultural cooperation between these two countries in the form of an MoU between, as I said earlier, the museum and Creative Seychelles Agency. And I have with me the CEO of the agency, Emmanuel Dofé, and then I also have Stephanie, who is head of art and also coordinator of the agency in that country. With these remarks, I will want us to officially do the signing of the MoU, after which Dofé will give some remarks. And Stephanie, if you are.
Mr. Ivo Ajedia, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today's signing ceremony of the MoU between Seychelles and the Manhyia Palace Museum is a testimony of the bond that exists between Seychelles and Ghana, dated several years. We are a small country of around 1,000 people, yet we can learn and teach each other. The MoU will bridge the gap between our two countries, which can be nothing else but better. Several projects have already been discussed, and together we shall collaborate to see the fruits of a seed planted today. Ladies and gentlemen, may I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Ivo Ajedia for the invitation in organizing such a rich program for us that we wish we could stay longer, but we have duty calls back home. Ghana is a beautiful country similar to Seychelles. That's why, apart from the MoU, we will leave our footprints here through the humble donation of books and paintings for the museum. It's just the beginning of our journey to a successful cooperation Once again, thank you. We shall forever be grateful and live with fond memories. Thank you.
We will. Thank you very much, Mr. Dofe, and also for your very diplomatic remarks. They brought us gifts, as diplomats do, and he's a cultural diplomat of his country. Gifts of books, gifts of other things that Seychelles is noted for, and we're giving them in return what we also have and can offer. I don't know if at this point you will want to officially take us to what you brought and explain to the media the meanings of these.
Donated traces, traces of our slavery side, the history of Opemsuo and other interesting areas in the Seychelles. We gradually want to build a bigger collection, but that will come slowly. The one about the Coco de Mer explains the story behind the Coco de Mer tree, because it's considered the biggest nut in the world and it's found only in Seychelles. So that's why we decided to bring one for the museum. It weighs about 25 kilos, but we've removed the husk from inside. And that would be one of our prized possessions in the museum here. Ghanaian tourists to Seychelles to see the original nut. And also, this is very important. That's our Manhyia drum, a dance practice in the Seychelles, which recently became part of the UNESCO Intangible Heritage. That was last year. And I know in Africa, drums exist, but used differently. So again, that would be a subject of development to try and see where did it come from which part of Africa. Because the African slaves that came to Seychelles, according to our records, they were Ghanaians. So the bond is very strong. Few of our paintings, then we decided, okay, let's get the collection bigger. So we brought some other paintings for him, donated by the artist from Seychelles. And that's from a female artist, which again reflects the Seychellois way of life, which when I walk around here is similar. So the question is, where did this come from, you know? And the good thing is, you see, this is the seaside life of Seychelles, fisheries, and that's one of our main economy. And this is from the Seychelles' most famous female artist. She exhibits all around the world, and her works depict women. She's very much interested in women. And another interesting two pieces of work you will see. That's from a retired lady. She was making her.
You can show it. Can show it to the cameras.
Definitely. But they are actually collages made from bits and pieces of fabrics or pictures taken from a magazine. That's a passion. And for us, it was an honor. I brought these paintings that way. But I can tell you there will be more paintings coming from the Seychelles.
On behalf of the Manhyia Palace Museum, we're presenting to you a set of books about the museum and also about art in Ghana and the history of Asante, partly reflected in the many creative areas that we have. Of course, we've also already given anthologies reflecting the writings of many Africans, and we are grateful for your coming, and thank you everybody for coming as well.
Well, something else which I forgot to mention, when I met Ivor in Seychelles, that's where the first part of our collaboration started. I got a copy of his poems. He's written a good poetry book, and maybe everyone should have access to it and everyone should read it. A very profound. And one among the poems is called Manhyia, and it talks about the exile of the king, prison behind bar. So I asked him, as an artist by profession, whether he would give me the information, the permission to actually illustrate the book from my perspective as an artist, which he gladly agreed, and to me it's an honor. And I'm working on the illustration, and soon he will be getting the 20 or 30 over paintings that will be done just for that. And once it's done, that will be my legacy to him as a friend, to keep the paintings.
Well, we must thank you again for your interest in Kumasi and Ghana. We came from Seychelles, and he was gracious enough to give us a set of collections of stamps of Seychelles and the West Indian Ocean Islands. So I'm sure, apart from Seychelles itself, the Buckingham Palace, the Manhyia Palace Museum has the third largest collection of stamps from that part of the world, for which we are very grateful to you.
Thank you, Ivor. It was a pleasure.